Hey folks, I'm Ian Baker, and today we're going to go over the 2021 Coleman Light 1855 RB. What is this floor plan all about? Well, it's pretty simple. If you have a tow vehicle, you can tow right around that 5,000 pound mark. This is one you might want to consider. Now, it will definitely be on the borderline of that 5,000 mark, but it is still doable. Because this one, the way it is equipped right now is a little bit under 4,400 pounds, which gives you about 600 pounds of play there. Now, when we start to take a look at the floor plan, at its heart, of course, it is a rear bath. The thing I love about it is you are under that 5,000 pound mark, and you still get a slide out, which gives you a ton of space here, plus a Murphy bed up front, making this very versatile too. So let's take a look at the kitchen, right? Where do we start? What do I love? Well, one of the big things is this right here, the apron front sink. And I really like that look. It's something they've taken from the residential side, right? Started to bring it into RVs. And for me, that's a big win. I think it looks just, it really kind of sets it apart from a lot of other RVs are doing. Another big win for me, and this was a change they did this year, is right here. Behind that is one really long window. I'll lift it up a little bit here for you so you can see, but you can see right there, right? Huge window. And I love that because it just lets in a lot of natural light. When you have a small camper like this, right, the more light you can bring in, the better. So definitely a big win there. Recessed 3-burner cooktop, pretty standard stuff, folds up and back. The knobs do light up if you're into the blue light look. You'll see right underneath is an oven. Again, nothing to write home about, but it will do some standard baking. You know, if you have like a casserole dish or need to throw like a pie in there, something small. Again, you know, Thanksgiving turkey or anything, but it'll do the job. Taking a look underneath here, you see a little bit of space on both sides of the P-trap, which is great, plus a drawer underneath. So you do have some room for pots and pans. Because we start getting into smaller RVs like this, right, kitchen starts to become a big deal, right? Like, where do I start to put stuff? So I like that there's bigger storage right there. Up top is some additional storage. You'll have frosted glass. Now, the only thing that I will say is that I wish in this drawer, I wish they would have had like something, you'd have to put it in here, right? But this is gonna have to be more than likely where you would have your silverware, because if you notice, right, there's just not any other drawer space. And that's, as I mentioned, that's kind of one of the issues you start to run into when you have a little bit smaller RV like this and you're trying to fit in as much as possible. But that's where I'd put it. Or of course, you know, again, you can have it right there. I guess whatever works best for you. Microwave up top, hood right underneath that. That one does have a light and a fan. A little bit of storage up above the fridge. You'll see the stainless steel looking panels on there. Open that one up. You can see this one does run off both propane and electric, has automatic switch over or cut out there for some taller items as well. And as I mentioned, this one is a rear bath. So let's take a quick look at that. And why a rear bath, right? Well, what are the advantages of a rear bath? There's going to be a couple things. One, especially in a lot of RVs where they have like a front bedroom, this one's a little bit more open, but a lot of them you just don't have space to get changed. And in a rear bath, sometimes you do. Now this one, right, again, it's a smaller RV, so there's not a ton of space to change in here, but what you do get, and again, you'll get this in a lot of rear baths, look at the storage for clothes, right? You have a huge wardrobe in there. So yeah, you have some wardrobe space up front, but this right here is perfect. You can put all your clothes in there. You can get changed here in the bathroom. You have several drawers right down underneath if you have a lot of, you know, goodies you need to put in there. More space underneath. Now, you know, if it's my RV, I know that all this is getting taken by my wife, but regardless, you know, you do get a lot of space, which is awesome. And right up top, mirrored medicine cabinet. You'll see a spot to hang up your towel there, which is convenient, nice and easy to grab from the shower. Toilet right down below me. If I take a seat here, folks, I have plenty of leg space and shoulder space too. Now, another big thing that I like about rear baths is once in a while on a rear bath, you'll get an outside kitchen, which is kind of a cool addition. When we make our way into the shower, I'll take a stand here. Folks, I'm 6 foot tall. As you can see, I have no issues. Even with my poofy hair today, I still have a couple inches thanks to that skylight. And it is a big shower base. And what I mean by that is a lot of times, you know, it'll be a lot narrower. Here, I can stand sideways. And look, my shoulder is, you know, I'm not brushing up against the curtain, or if I am, it's barely touching. And I have fairly broad shoulders, and, you know, so I'm good there. But a lot of times, you know, you don't get that in a shower. It's going to be a lot smaller. You kind of have to do one of these. that's a pretty good size shower pan, especially in an RV this size. Now, as we come back out, you have to have a spot, well, you don't have to have a spot for a TV, but you probably want one, and that's what you have right here. So this is the accent wall, TV mounts there, of course, your connections for it, thermostat. This is just for the furnace. Now, this one does have a roof-mounted AC. Sam, you want to show the people that real quick? So if we flip around, right there is your AC, but the controls for it are directly on there. And then, of course, you have your vents on the side to be able to direct that flow. But back to the entertainment center. So right there is your multimedia center. So if you have any auxiliary equipment you want to plug in there, you're good to go. As the HDMI panel right on the front, USB port there too. A little bit of additional storage, which is great. And then over to the side is that slide out dinette. And in a floor plan like this is a game changer, folks, because this right here is what really provides all that additional space. Now, one of the things I will say, and this is just a personal for me, I think that either the dinette seats need to be raised up a bit, or the table legs need to be shortened just a touch. You know, again, I'm 6 foot tall, and the table is just a little high for me. I'd like it to be just a tiny bit lower. Small adjustment, right? Definitely not a make it or break it, but that's just one of those little critiques. So, you know, again, it's one of the reasons it's important to be able to get out to a dealership, be able to sit down, kind of feel the space, right? Make sure it's going to work for you. Big window here, though. I do love this. This lets in a ton of natural light again, and as I've already mentioned, in a smaller RV like this, that's a big win. LED light up top there, so you have it at night. And then at the very front is your Murphy bed. Now, with Murphy beds, right, it's going to be one of two things. I always say this. It's going to be functional. It's going to be pretty. Very few times do you get both. I'll show you what this one is in just a second. One of the things you will enjoy, though, is the sofa. And the reason I like this is because it is a straight shot to the TV, and it gives you another seating area besides just the dinette. You have the pseudo theater seating because this drops down with cup holders. Now, obviously, you can fold it up just like that, and you get the big jackknife sofa. And with that, right, you still have plenty of storage underneath because it is a jackknife. And to drop it down into the Murphy bed, you complete that drop down. We will take this, we're going to unlock it on both sides. Wardrobe on both sides, by the way, it is mirrored. The other thing about this too, folks, is, you know, if even when the slide is in, as you will see, this drops down just like so. You still can sleep in the bed, right? So if you're traveling, you need to get to the bathroom, you need to get to the fridge, you need to lay down, this camper will let you do all three. Now, as you will see, this one utilizes what they call a tri-fold mattress. And now it is in a bag, so it's gonna be a little bit tougher to unfold even yet. But when it was up, right, it looks really pretty. The only downside here is that it does have 3 folds in it, and with the tri-fold, it's a little bit tougher to keep sheets on it, right? It basically, you almost have to remake the bed every time you put it out. Not a huge deal, especially if you want one that's nicer looking, where you don't have a mattress hanging off, hanging out on the top. Then something like this will work perfect for you. But again, other than putting the sheets on, it is very quick and simple to put the bed down, as well as you saw, just put it away. And let's take a look at some of the outside features on that 2021 Coleman Light 1855 RB. Right up front is that power tongue jack, folks, and again, that makes it nice and easy to hook up and disconnect from your tow vehicle. You have 2 20-pound propane tanks with a cover right behind that, rails for your battery, diamond etched plating coming up the front, and you will see on the front end, you have the 3/4 front cap with LED lights inlaid, which really gives it a sharp look at night. Coming around to the side, this one has solar prep, so you can just buy portable panels, plug it in right there, and trickle charge it. And if you take a look at the pass-through, you'll see it's a pretty good pass-through size there, right? Pretty decent opening, good storage inside, especially, and this is important for being a Murphy bed. That's really where this one kind of steps away from a lot of others, right? Because it's not the biggest pass-through on a travel trailer, but that is big when you have that Murphy bed system. Taking a look at this sidewall, this of course being the Coleman Light is a fiberglass laminated sidewall. Right up top is the power awning, touch a button to roll that out, same to go back in. LED light strip. You can see the big window right there in the kitchen, just letting all that light in as we saw when we were inside. Right down here, this one has power stabilizer jacks. Now that's not leveling by any means. You still want to level that camper out. You know, you just put some blocks on either side depending on where you need to level it out at. Push the button, drop it down, good to go. LCI solid steps to get into the camper, and folks, this, as you can see, very solid, nice big grab handle. These just fold up inside the door when you're done. Because they're aluminum, they won't rust either. Right outside the door is that electrical outlet, so you can plug anything in out here. You also see your fresh water inlet is on the campside. But one of the big things that is different from a lot is this right here. The fact you have an outside shower with hot and cold water access on the campside. And the reason I like this is because a lot of times you have to kind of go over to the side, but here if you need to wash the dog, wash your feet off, you're done with the beach before you head in, that gives you the ability to do it, maybe even wash dishes, right? And then your black tank flush is located here too. And as I said, sometimes on different rear baths, not necessarily this one, but some of them, you will get the outside kitchen. So if that's something you're looking for, if it's just gonna be the two of you, you want one with an outside kitchen, a rear bath floor plan is definitely one to look out for. Here on the back, mounted to the bumper, is your spare tire. Hopefully you never have to use it, folks, but if you do, one of the easiest places to get to it is right there. And then right up top is that backup camera prep. So if you want a backup camera, you want to be able to see behind you as you're backing up, having the prep makes it a lot less expensive to be installed, so it saves you some cash money on labor. Here on the other side, city water inlet will be located there. You will also see your cable inlets. 30 amp power supply will be right there, and if you drop down, a little dirty here, but you can see your termination with both the black and gray tank valves. All right, folks, and that wraps it up. Again, this is the 2021 Coleman Light 1855 RB. If you're like, man, Ian, this is exactly the one, this right here is that couples coach I love, and you want price and availability, folks, all you have to do is click on the link in the description. Thanks again for watching, folks. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.